Hello, and welcome to Shamrock Talk, the internet's #1 Mother-Son Celtics podcast. I'm your host, Jake Olin, here once again with my mother, Karen Olin.
Oh.
And we're back. Special guests. I think the first repeat guest, if I am correct. We'll probably have some others, but new father. Round of applause for the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Joe Scott is back.
Probably almost a year, right?
It's probably, I don't know.
think it was fairly.
It was
early
probably
in
coming up on the playoff stretch of last year. So yeah, it's probably been about
pretty
a
close.
Yeah. Yep.
year. A little
Close
less.
to a year.
Um,
Welcome back.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, we got 4 games on the docket from when we last recorded. Recording this on Thursday, March 2nd at night. Celtics at this moment. Not many times we've had to say this year, but first in the Atlantic Conference, second Eastern Conference, second in the NBA. To the Milwaukee Bucks. So that'll be a talking point. But let's get through the games first. First one on the docket was overtime win over the Indiana Pacers at Indiana. I didn't prepare high lows this week, but Mom, I'll go to you first. What do you got for that one?
My favorite low, Jason Tatum.
Yeah,
He was just not good that game. Even though he had 31 points, his shooting percentage was 25 at 3 and 36 overall. He did not have a good game. My high, and my low was defense. I thought our defense was terrible against this team. My high, I think, was I guess Brogdon. I mean, I just didn't think this was a great game overall. And I thought Jaylen Brown played fairly well. He was very efficient and, doing his thing. But I thought the defense was horrendous. And I didn't think this was a great Pacers team. That I just don't think they're that good. But that's my take on it. Go ahead.
I was going to describe. I like this Pacers team.
Yeah, I might too. They're young.
I might sell some of my my Pistons stock and buy some Indiana stock.
I can't buy the Piston stock, but
we have a lot of Piston stock. It's
Halliburton is like a star in the making.
Yeah.
We have a lot of making.
Yeah, he is awesome. I love Halliburton. Great, 14 assists. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he is unbelievable. I think he was my player of the week 1 week when we played him last time. But I think this is a good Pacers team. Tatum was not great.
I thought our defense, I just thought we made them look
a little
good.
Concerning. Yeah.
They're like
I think Halliburton is excellent. Yeah. I think Halliburton's excellent. But when you I don't know.
I mean, when Miles Turner's also 8 for 10 from 3, it's like, okay.
Aaron Neesmith started. That's all I have to say. Aaron Neesmith started.
He plays big minutes for them.
And he's not terrible. He is not terrible, and he actually looks better than he did. But he played 34 minutes for them. Like,
he's like a gym class hero. He just like runs all over the place. He's like a poor Derek White.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Other than Halliburton, I don't love this team. Although my player of the week might have been on this team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have that much else to say about this game. I mean,
no, I'm sick of the Tatum 12 threes, all the step back 12, 14 threes. I can't do it. No.
Yeah, he was painful this game. He was painful. And our defense again, up the lane. Like we're not. Yeah.
I feel like we went from a last year first defense to like 15th. I don't. Yeah. I'm not. I'm not a Missoula guy, so I just think he doesn't care about defense as much as we think that he does.
Yeah.
I just think we started early in the season raining threes and such a high scoring team that we just lost sort of that toughness and that gritty. I don't know, but I agree. Jake, anything else?
No, as I said, not much in this game. I mean, just glad we got the win. I mean, eking it out in overtime. And at this point, my concern for every overtime game is just minutes. I'm like, oh god, like Tatum's gonna play 40 plus
Yeah,
again.
I don't want to hear again that he ran out of steam. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's like, why is he
I'm
playing
sick
like
of that.
100,000 minutes every game? Like,
every
he played-
superstar's tired.
Yeah, but then like also he's gonna play the most minutes in the All-Star game and the most minutes in the regular season and the most minutes in the next like 100,000 years. It's like this is not sustainable and not good. And
I don't know if I have a mental capacity to talk about the All-Star game. I might have a breakdown.
I didn't even watch. Yeah.
Oh, the fact
I didn't even watch it.
That he cares that much about having the MVP.
Yeah.
Oh.
It almost feels like a setup, doesn't it? Like, I don't know. He was shooting well, but just Missoula was the coach. What?
Yeah.
Played how many minutes? And a lot of stars were out. A lot of people didn't play. So
yeah, but he played but right before the Pacers, he, you know, who was that? Detroit. He played that last game and we didn't need him, but he played what, like 200 minutes to like we're up by
that's a get your points up game. Guess what game he didn't play in? What game did he not play in?
The Bucks, and we almost he wants the MVP so bad, but he's not going to get it. So
yeah,
he's fallen behind fast. Which, as Mom, as you've said, that could be a blessing in disguise once he realizes that's kind of that ship has sailed. Maybe he'll set his sights on the right things. But let's get past that one to a much more exciting game. And not that was an exciting game overtime, but Celtics beat the Sixers 110-107 in an awesome finish. Almost an even better finish. Joe, what do you got? First thoughts on Sixers Celtics?
I had no doubt we were going to win in any fashion. We'd own them. Like they've been playing really well, but for some reason we just, you know, we don't have trouble with like teams with, you know, that have a lot of like guard heavy, like, you know, Tobias Harris is huge. Like we have more trouble with like a team like Chicago who loses 10 straight, but they have big guys that rebound and, you know, stuff like that. We're not, Embiid can get 41 points and we're going to beat them because nobody else really, you know, we shut
Tobias
down
Harris
Maxey.
got hot at the beginning, but
he had 19 points and they were pretty much all in the first half.
Yeah, basically.
Like we don't, they don't worry me, and Doc Rivers doesn't worry me either.
Yeah, Missoula versus Doc off. That'd be a good series.
I really wanted them to hire Damon Stoudemire instead of Missoula, but Missoula's like a robot. He's just like a robot.
Stop chewing the gum. No, he stopped. He doesn't chew the gum anymore.
Like so fast. Not a big fan, but yeah, no. But I just they don't worry me. Philly will go, you know, somewhat deep, but if we face them, we'll beat them in 6 games.
No. I went 100%.
I think we almost sabotaged ourselves in this game. My low was Al Horford's defense on Embiid. What the first time we've ever done that. I just think Al wants to step up now, and he cannot play. That's why Embiid he didn't have an outstanding game, but that's why he had 41 points in this game, or however many. I don't even remember how many he had. And he was on the foul line all the time. It was terrible. His defense on Embiid is terrible. I thought Grant Williams played him so much better, and we took Grant off him. He only played a few minutes, and I think he messes Embiid up, and we put Al. I think that's why the game stayed so close, because Embiid was the only one really scoring. He was the only one that really kept him in it. So Al was my low, his defense on Embiid, but he was also my high because his threes pulled us ahead when we were cold, and again Tatum was not shooting well. So he was my high and low. But I hate when Al is on Embiid. He cannot play that kind of defense. And he's a good defender in other ways, but at the hoop, bully ball, he's terrible. He doesn't take hits. He, I don't know, gives too much space, doesn't want to get hit. Yeah. So I think that hurt us a lot in this game. And I think that's why it was so close. But then he bailed us out with his three. So I'm not going to harp on him too much because I'm an Al lover. Yeah, that's all I have to say for this game. Again, I thought, Tatum was abysmal in this game as well. And I guess I focus on him because I'm tired of the MVP chance, because I don't quite think he's there. Without him, I feel we wouldn't be where we are. He does add to our team, but he is not an MVP at this point.
Yeah, this is a bad game for him. My big thing for this game was Marcus Smart was terrible all game. And like Derek White at this point is just the better play at the end of the game. I know you have your starting guys and those are your guys, but Derek White's the guy to play down the stretch. Just is what it is at this point. Smart's missed time and maybe later in the season, Smart gets hot, that changed. But to not play Derek White, team high plus 25, just anytime he's in there was cooking people. And then you take him out for the last 6 minutes of the game and never play him while Marcus Smart's still chucking threes, turning it.
Agreed.
It just blows my mind. He's the guy. It is like, I love Marcus Smart as much as anybody. Like, he's been my favorite Celtic basically since he's been on the team. But with him, since he's been out, I mean, Derek White was our best player for the month of February. There's no reason he's not in the game crunch time.
I'm waiting for Derek White to turn back into the pumpkin.
Yeah,
like,
but he's not.
He started to the last night and I don't know. Like, I feel like with all the stars back and the way they're playing, and like you said, taking him out the 6 minutes, I almost feel like he's backtracking a little bit and not as confident. And
but at times I could make the argument Smart's the third guard. Like, I'd rather have Brogdon in there. Like, to me, it's
I would rather have Brogdon in there and have
it just is what it is. And I get like Mazzulla just has this, like, he just wants to play the starters at the end of the game, and it's like sometimes that's not. Yeah, sometimes like Brogdon's very streaky. If he's on fire, you put him right in there and he's just gonna cook people.
You couldn't have him off the bench like Smart instead, because you need someone to score like consistently off your bench.
Sure, but at the end of the game, if you need scoring, it like, I don't want Smart in. Again, you play the matchups, but don't, like, for some reason it's like forced. Like, Smart's just the guy, no matter what the situation is.
Well, you could like the end of the game versus Sixers, you're gonna have probably Smart on like James Harden. So that's probably the way they think of it. But Derek White is longer.
Exactly. Well, it's not like he's a slouch defensively.
Yeah.
And if you need, I mean, it's like we were down at points in this game. It's not like we were trying to completely protect a lead the whole time.
Yeah.
If it were me at the end of this game, I would have had Al, Grant, the Jays, and Derek White, because you can stretch the floor, because that's when we killed them. When you suck Embiid out to the perimeter and he has to guard Al on the three, he has to guard Grant, you don't have anyone in the middle. That's when we killed them. I just think that just matchup wise, that was when we made our strides, and we just, I don't know, just blew that down the stretch. Just let Embiid park in the paint.
I somewhat agree with you. I can't get behind the Grant stuff. I hate Grant Williams.
So I will say there are things about Grant. He just needs to shut up. He talks way too much.
He'll die on the court.
Think about his personality. Yes, but he is one of our only people guarding on the inside that will take a hit and stay tough. He's one of the only ones that doesn't step aside and say, this way to the hoop, as they're coming down, this way to the hoop. And you watch them, it's like a step aside. Tatum, Al, he's one of the only ones that will take a hit. So that's why
he may be our best defender on guys like Embiid and Giannis, just because he'll just sit there and just get nailed.
Yes.
Like, and he just exhausts them. He'll just sit there. He's got that tomato chest, as
Blake's been pretty good when he's been thrown in there for, taking charges and diving on the floor more than anybody.
Agreed. I don't know why he doesn't
just
play.
In general.
He didn't even get in.
Again.
They didn't even put him in.
Sometimes I'm like, why not like throw Cornette in there? Why is he complete? He gave
Muscala's
good minutes early in the year.
Cornette now.
Yeah, but they play different. I mean, yeah, but even him, like, try him. I don't know. It's like we couldn't stop Embiid, and we tried the same thing over and over again.
Well, then Muscala and Cornette, they're what, 6'11", and they can't jump over a phone book. They're like,
but guess what? They have 12 fouls combined. Just have them murder Embiid for like 5 minutes.
Muscala's defense has to be the worst defense I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. So anyway, I agree with you guys about the Sixers. I think we have their number and we know how to
Me
what
too.
to do
They
and
just
how to
don't
play
scare
them.
me even a
I'm
little.
not
Like,
that worried about them.
No, they'll
I
get
agree.
one
love-
or two games, but they won't
Yeah.
beat us.
I agree. I think we have the right type of players. And Harden and Embiid are too slow. Harden is so slow. He has got to be the slowest human being I have ever seen in my entire life.
And how many times have we seen their style of basketball just fail in the playoffs? Like the refs
Yes,
just aren't going to
I
give
agree.
you 1,000 free throws. Like they're going to
And
call
they are
it
not
tougher, and then
yeah.
they're
They're
just gonna
not a
cry
team
for 8
phenomenon.
games. Like
It's not like Harden's giving him some magical passes that open him up. It's just he's asking for the ball and he lobs it in there almost every single time. I mean, that's it.
But he's just talented. He's going to get his points. And
Yeah.
he's just good. You can only do so much.
Yes. And he's in good shape this year.
Yeah.
Like, I think he looks better than he really is.
Yeah.
Like worked on it. No. All right. That was it for my
yeah.
take on the game.
Well, we can move on to the next one. Only loss of the
They
bunch.
play us
Celtics
so
lose
tough.
at the Knicks 109-94. Yeah, this Knicks team is way better than
They're
I thought
scrappy.
they would ever be. Yeah.
They're
play
good.
us- Well,
They are
Thibodeau
good.
runs them like, workhorses.
yeah.
And
So here's
They are
here's
good.
the question. Would you rather see the Knicks or the Sixers in a playoff series?
Sixers.
probably the Sixers, because you might beat the Knicks in 5, but you're going to come out of there with a black eye.
Yeah.
They
That's
are-
6
they're-
games, but it's like going to be like facing the Heat.
It's more like the known to the unknown to me. Like I know what to expect from the Sixers. The Knicks, I don't know where this team came from. Yeah, they're good. Beat us twice now.
I think now that Julius Randle is shooting outside, he didn't shoot that well against us in the 3, but he has been incredible
He's more confident now.
at the 3-point line, which makes him a threat everywhere.
But he
and I think
can
they play
shoot,
good defense. I think they play extremely good defense. I think that's why Tatum again was frustrated, is because their defense was good. Yeah, I think they've got a very good team. Do I think they'll win or go far? No, but I do think they have a very good team.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, this is the one he got thrown out of, right?
Yeah, Tatum's first ejection. I had that on my notes.
MVP.
That's so shocking. It's actually shocking to me. That's his first ejection.
Yeah,
I was actually shocked by that. I thought for sure he'd gotten a couple, but no, I guess that's it.
11%. He shot 11% at the 3. 11%, 1 for 9.
Good one for 9.
But the fact that we took
granted,
42,
their defense. What?
9 for 42.
2 threes. That just like that bothers me. Like that's not.
Yeah.
This is like the Antonio
half our
Rockets.
shots.
Like,
yeah.
Agreed.
But
yes.
Yeah.
That's the biggest concern all year is the live and die by the 3.
Yeah.
Threes aren't falling. Well, we're just screwed. We just lose all the games. Thankfully, we're a good shooting team, but game 7 comes, we break a bunch of threes, it's over. Season
we
over.
tried that last year versus the two of the best shooters of all time. How did that work out for us? You're not gonna you're not gonna trade buckets back and forth like that with the Warriors for 7 games.
No.
But this Knicks team though, I like them. They have like a Rob Williams like we do with Robinson, but I just feel like Robinson can, he actually plays more minutes down the stretch, and I feel like Rob's a better help defender. Rob gets a lot of his blocks when he's like helping, where Robinson can do both, square up, one-on-one, and I actually like him. And plus Robinson, he's on and off like getting hurt, but not like Williams. Williams is made of like clay. He is softer than baby poo. He is like he is out so much, and it's like I want him to be healthy because then Grant's not going to play.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sorry.
I think you're going to be surprised. I think they're right now really trying to give Rob more minutes, but I think when it comes down to it, I think you'll be surprised. I just don't.
Yeah, he just
don't
can't
think he's going to get the minutes.
It's a huge issue.
Well, you can't play him in the end of the game.
A role player.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
You can't.
A foul.
But yeah,
which is why at the end of the Sixers game, I was banging my head like, take Rob out,
But
play Derek
when it
White
gets
or
to the
play Quinn Williams
playoffs,
or both.
you're going to be at what, like a 3 guys maybe off the bench, Derek White, Brogdon, and maybe Blake. I mean,
Grant
maybe
Williams, yeah.
Grant. But Grant
definitely be
Grant
Grant
didn't even. He
Williams.
got a DMP last game, right?
Yeah, that's
know, we'll
definitely on
talk
the
about
that's
that. I
definitely on
don't
the
know.
agenda. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. He also only played 16 minutes against the Knicks, did not play. And then there was another game where he did not play a lot either. Yeah, it'll be interesting. But I love Rob Williams. I love the things that he does, but he to me is a role player. He is not somebody who's going
matchup
to
guy.
play. Yeah.
Certain matchups he's
And I
going to
don't
just
even mind
completely
if you
break
want to
teams, and
start
certain
him.
matchups he's unplayable. So it's like
easier to start him and sit him than
Exactly.
yeah.
And
get
I
him in,
think
set the tone.
that's very popular. I think every announcer is behind him starting. People love him. They love him.
Well,
But
'cause he gets a
I
couple
don't
flashy blocks, dunks.
yes. And
Yeah, the oops.
if we
been running
could
the oops as much.
pass and set him up more at the hoop, we're just not that kind of team. We're not a good passing team. So he, when Jalen every once in a while tosses it up, Al, good passer, set him up in last night's game, but nobody can set him up. He is really good at dunking the ball, but how many passes have you seen that are flying by his hands and they're lucky he even caught them to get them? So yeah, if we had somebody that could set him up on a regular basis, I think he would be a lot more valuable. But Brogdon was the only one that shot well in that game.
He's got to be the leader for 6th man of the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's one of the,
sure.
I
He
think
has
he's
to
leading
be.
by all the stats. Yep.
They probably would have given it to Westbrook as like a pity if he didn't get traded. I mean, if he didn't get, traded and released and now starts with Clippers. But yeah, it has to be Brogdon, especially on our team. We're so deep. Like, we're like, that's why we're so good. But definitely helps that we're 45 and 18.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't even know
Agreed.
what his stats
They were
are.
saying that last night. I think he's in the lead for 6th man with his stats.
He's the betting favorite at least right now.
15 points off the bench, pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
so anyway, this was an abysmal game.
Yeah.
The Knicks
Not
was
good.
an abysmal game.
Nice
Embarrassing.
reality check though.
And agreed.
They responded well versus a team that's had their number this year after a loss. So
yep.
Yes.
We can get to that one now. Last night's game, Celtics beat Cleveland 117-113. And I'll admit, I usually watch the replays in the morning. And I spoiled this one for myself. So I saw the score before I watched the game. And I was like, there's like a minute 30 left. I'm like, how did they win by 4? Like, what is going on? And they scored
Darius Garland.
They scored like a million. Like, there's a minute 30 left. I'm like, how did they score 13 points in a minute 30? Like, what is happening here? I kept waiting for it to happen, but yeah, a little bit of garbage time, but I was concerned knowing the score and seeing how much we were up. I was like, what is gonna happen? Mom, what do you got for this one?
So believe it or not, my high was Jason Tatum. I thought for the first game all season long, he played this one like he should have played, and he scored 41 points. His passing out of driving and being defended, I thought, and part of that is a good attitude because his threes were falling. Who are we kidding? He's a head case when things aren't going right. But I think all in all, this was one of his best games and my favorite game of the year for him. I just think 11 rebounds. He seemed to work hard. His defense was decent.
He just had that drive and kick that like sometimes he has and sometimes he just chooses not to.
Turnovers. Like, does he have normally when he tries to kick it out? I will say on the other end, Cleveland has, I think, a good team, a really good team. They're terrible defenders, terrible. And I think that's part of the reason Jason Tatum shine is because I don't think Cleveland guards very well. I think that is their problem. Donovan Mitchell, did you notice any defending moments for him? He wasn't shooting well. He's a little head case, so he's not defending.
The knock on him for a while, and then beginning of the year was like, oh, he was just frustrated in Utah. He actually does defend, and then the season starts to wear on. And
once or twice he'll turn it up a little bit and try, but he's not a defender. And then Darius Garland, I just don't think he's big enough to be a great defender. I don't know. I just don't think they defend well. That's all. But anyway, so Tatum was my high for last night. I think again, yeah, I didn't really have a low. We were ahead most of the time. My low was probably the end of the game when we start getting slack and they start to creep up again. We're supposed to have a clear cut win, maybe put a couple bench people in, but we can't. We can't put bench people in because if we had, we would have lost. Like, what? 4-point game? Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I thought you were a Peyton Pritchard fan. Come on.
I am a Peyton Pritchard fan. I totally am.
I was just messing around because I'm not.
Chomping at the bit to go to another team and be part of a team that's not so deep. I mean,
if he's playing big minutes, your team's not going very far.
No, but I think he just wants to play. That's the kind of guy he is. I don't think a ring is going to mean much to him if he doesn't play. I think he just is a hard worker.
He can get one and then go make some money.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Best of both worlds.
But anyway, we can't even get to our bench because we don't have any games that we blow people away enough that we could put our players in that don't get a lot of time. Like, it's kind of crazy to me. We make every team look good. Every team.
They got to play versus the Knicks.
Yes.
They went in
for the
at
wrong,
the end of the game.
For the wrong reasons. They got to play against the Knicks. Yeah. I was hoping this year for some, like we were talking about playing time, but we can't take Tatum out because what happens? Like last night, before you know it, they're up by, they're down by 4. How does that happen? But like I said, I like the Cavaliers. I think they're a decent team. But they just can't defend. So I don't think they'll go very far or a very big threat. That's all I got.
Kind of disappointing based on earlier this year. I thought they were going to be really good. Yeah. It doesn't look like the same.
They got 39 wins. They're what, third?
Yeah, they're good. I just like when we had the 2 overtime games, they beat us both in the very early stages. I was like,
they're just not deep. That's the problem, is they're not very deep. They don't have any size off the bench.
No. Yeah.
I like Jared Allen. He's really good, but
he disappeared.
He had a tough game.
Yeah.
Both of them. I think
Jared
when they
Allen
use their big guys, that's when they're at their best, because then they play the inside out. They get their guards shots off. They kind of like have to double either Mobley or Allen, and they just they didn't go to that at all today.
Mobley
killed us with that.
Quiet 13 rebounds.
Yeah.
Like
6 for 15.
Like,
not a good offensive night, but I'm a big Mobley guy.
He's good.
He's excellent. I think they're a good team.
Twig.
Yeah.
6'11", 215. Jesus.
Yeah.
Like a young kid.
And I like Jared Allen. I think he disappeared in the second half.
Yeah.
I don't even
they both did.
Rebounding. I don't know. Just maybe we were just that dominant.
Both benches were pretty bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you need more than 6 points between Brogdon and White. That's not good.
Yeah.
Again, I think their role, it's very strange how they're being played, how long it took to get Brogdon in the second time around. I mean, they didn't put him in for a long time. And the same with Derek White. Go ahead.
They put the starters in with like 7 minutes left. Now it's like there's no way they're going to play the rest of the 7 minutes. And they didn't. They put White back in and they rotated. But I thought for a second Missoula was going to play the whole starters the last 7 minutes. I was going to lose my mind.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Brogdon and Derek White, you're losing steam, right? You're kind of
exactly.
I don't know. What's your role?
Those are the 2 bench guys you want engaged for sure. Like you're going to play some crucial minutes in the playoffs. They have to. So those are
they're going to be 20 something minutes a game.
Yeah.
At least.
But that's the thing I don't get with the NBA is like I was watching the Lakers Mavericks. And the Mavericks were up 3 points with like 8 minutes left, and Luka's still on the bench. Like, I don't get the mindset of, well, this guy is on the same time clock every game. Yeah, but it's a close game. Like, put your best player back in.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get like that whole thing. Well, he needs rest. Well, he score the next 8 points and then take him out of the game when there's 2 minutes left. Like, I don't get that.
Yeah, that's not our mentality.
No,
most
and
definitely. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think Tatum stands up by himself. I don't even think Missoula looks down the bench. I think Tatum just
it's probably like,
stands, stands up and gets ready to go in.
because he usually comes out with what, like, depending on the score, 4 minutes left in the first quarter or something like that. And he probably goes in 2 minutes into the second quarter. It's
Yeah, it was a strange game. And again, I think, Tatum cannot expect, as the playoffs get closer and playing certain teams, for it to be as easy to score as he had last night. I just think the Cavs do not play defense. So he's going to have to be ready. And those passes that he was making last night, I hope he gets better and figures that out, that he's going to have to do that.
He has this one pass where like he's driving and then he like whips it to the corner over his head. And if he like makes the pass, it's amazing. But like half the time it's intercepted. And you're like,
it's like either over the person's head a couple times.
But if he makes it, it's like the most incredible like cross court pass that if someone made in like a pickup game, you'd be like, oh my God, that's the best pass I've ever seen.
I made the mistake of listening I should have turned it to ESPN. I listened to Scal and Perk.
Oh, you'll never actually.
Perk, I was
laughing so hard.
Perk is awesome.
Perk said something. They asked him if he liked something, and he goes, "That's like asking me if I like salad." I was dying. He was like talking about.
And don't get me wrong, he is funny to a certain extent, but it's like no commentary on the game. It's all stories and stuff about him, and it just keeps going and going. And once in a while, it's time to come back. But
my best one from this game is he goes, he's in his bag like there's fries at the bottom.
It's like awesome. So they're just nonchalant at the end of the game as the Cavaliers, they're talking about something else. The Cavaliers are coming like, the game's not over, guys. They're coming back a little bit. Talk about, I don't know how many minutes. They're just.
I mean, again, I have a different perspective because I knew that we won, but I was like worried the whole time that we were going to collapse because I saw the score and I saw we were up 20. I was like, are we going to like collapse and then like barely win this game? But it was never like really in doubt. They just hit a few Hail Mary threes.
I just think it was a little lax.
It was one like disaster pass from being close.
Should have been able to put in somebody else.
I was expecting worse the whole time I'm sitting there. Like, how do we collapse this?
Yeah.
Well, we can get to the most interesting part of this game that we foreshadowed earlier, the DMP for Grant Williams. I'm not sure if you saw Missoula after the game was asked about
You didn't like him a year ago. We had this
I'm consistent at least.
You are. Yep. You did not like him.
Missoula, when asked about this after the game, simply said matchups. Okay, well, that's clearly just not the case, but kind of just.
So I think they sort of have a
mystery
plan.
To me.
I think they're trying to get those 5 starters as much time together as they can because they haven't.
They said they played like 4 games together or something like that.
And
50 minutes or something. Yeah.
They are trying their best right now before playoffs to get those 5 to have time to play together.
Maybe.
I also think.
It's not bad. I didn't even think about that, but
Tatum had the scoring record. If he got 40 points, he made some record last night as well.
25.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I think part of that was another. So I think it's kind of, I don't know. You got to believe that I don't know. Yeah. I think we're making a big mistake sort of toying around with Brogdon, Derek White, Grant Williams.
You want those guys
before the playoffs. You 100%. Want them full on, ready to go because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if like you said, Rob Williams could get hurt tomorrow.
But those guys are your advantage over other teams. Like if we're going starting lineup, like I don't know if we're gonna beat some of these teams, but when you have Derek White and Brogdon coming off the bench, that's your X factor, and you can't have those guys like frustrated that they're not getting like in the mix.
They're both still playing decent amount though, close to 30 minutes.
Sure, but when you're out the last 6 minutes and you're never playing crunch time, you're like.
So last night, Derek
White
played 24.
Like, after Derek White, Derek White was the player of the
Malcolm
week
Brogdon
for the Eastern Conference.
Everybody was hurt.
And Brogdon,
I know, but still, he was. I mean,
Brogdon played 22. Derek White shot 5 shots the whole game, and Brogdon shot 5 shots the whole game. So I think there's just a
Smart
change
had
in
more
the
than both
air,
of them
or
combined. They both
We
made the
also
same
did
amount.
get up by 20, so maybe they just
maybe, yeah.
pedal off. Yeah, it's
didn't
not. I
really
don't know.
matter.
I don't know.
This is more just developing to me. It's like you don't want
And then
like
you put Muscala in for 11 minutes, but not Grant Williams. Who is he matching up
Something's-
with?
Well, if it's
something's
really
going
about
on there.
matchups, he's spreading the, he's because he can shoot from all over. Grant can only shoot from the corner.
Yeah, I don't
Grant
know.
also
It's
thinks his
weird.
last name is Curry. That's why it bothers me so much. His step backs. He's like a brick wall taking step back threes. It just doesn't make any sense. I can't do it.
He's
Can't do it.
interesting.
But he's
Yeah.
not, I don't like the whole Tatum yelling. Like Tatum acts like he's Kobe, where he can talk to the refs, anytime he wants. But Grant does that same thing. That's why I can't stand him.
Agreed.
Yeah,
That
he
is.
is.
You
Yeah.
haven't done
Shut
any.
up, Grant.
He
Shut
runs
up,
off
Grant.
the bench to talk to the ref. If I
And
was a ref,
talks to him about
I would
somebody
look at
else's
him.
problem. Yeah.
Oh
They put up
God,
with it too. I don't get
it was
it.
like
Yeah.
it was literally like in the finals last year. He saw Draymond. He's like, "I'm this team's Draymond." He's like, "Wait a
no,
second,
you couldn't
no."
pick up Draymond's dirty
Yeah.
underwear, man. Oh, but
Yeah.
maybe this
No,
is a
I
reality
like him,
check because
I don't like him.
They say in the offseason he's going to want like 15 million a year. I'll drive you to the airport. No way. No way.
It's gonna be
If
interesting.
he has to hurt our salary cap, let him walk. Bye.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
I think it
gonna
depends
be
on what
interesting.
happens from now to the end. We'll see. We'll see who hangs in there and how tough the starting five
Maybe they're
can
not
be.
playing him on purpose.
Yeah,
Maybe they-
get the number down.
Yeah,
There you go.
like Belichick say, okay, go test for agency. Yeah, nobody wants to come back. Maybe he'll do
Yeah.
that.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Every role player contract just comes down to the playoffs anyway, because everyone just remembers the playoffs, the recency
Yeah.
bias, who's going to have you at the end of the year. So that's all
Yeah.
that's really going to matter. That
I dislike him, but I will say he's that player who he'll die out there. A lot
yeah,
of people
that's what.
complain about Russell Westbrook, but I feel like he's not just like showboating. I feel like he would die on the court.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
he
must,
could've-
for sure.
Yeah.
So I got to give Grant that. I
I genuinely
Recently-
believe he's our best defender on like Giannis and Embiid.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
can,
but
because the
they're
thing is,
only-
you can put
thing is they
him
are
on
only-
face and then have Robert Williams over the top. And that's like your best chance. Just otherwise,
he'll
like
take-
Horford, as
He's
you
the
said,
only one that will
Horford
take
just like
hits other than Blake.
Horford just puts his arm out and like never plays with his chest. It,
Don't
like,
bump
blows
me.
my
Don't
mind.
bump
I'm
me.
like, yeah.
What do you mean
like,
that was a
what's going on?
foul?
Yeah, it swipes at
Your
him. Like,
hands were like,
no,
oh,
just
yeah,
stand there.
And he has great hands when you get him out early enough, like out by the foul line, or you're out a little bit. But once you're at the hoop, he's that game. Oh, it's like, get Al off him. Al again last night, 6 threes. What? And he passes so well. I love
Yeah.
Al.
He's like Mr. Dependable.
Yeah, he was even
Hits his
like,
threes.
yeah, ripping it up. I mean, even his rebounding. He got 11 rebounds last night. Like, he turned it up. Wait,
Yep.
is that the right game? Yeah. Yep. 11. I thought he played very well. I do worry about his minutes though, because recently he's played a lot.
Yeah, he can't
of
play
minutes.
back to backs. He just
Yeah.
can't do it. Because then
Yeah.
he'll have that game last night, but then he'll go, 6 for 14 or something, just not good. Or like Brogdon, 2 for 5, and he'll have, 2 points. And you're like, what the hell happened to Al?
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
All right.
Did you pick player of the week?
I do have an opponent of the week.
Opponent of the week. All right.
I went with a little sleeper. Somebody might not expect. I went with
Oh, if it's the
PJ
same
Tucker.
one. Oh, he was defensively very good.
I
He's
love
just
PJ Tucker.
Always a menace. He's awesome. Any
Yeah.
team, I wanted him on the Celtics this year. I mean, I wasn't going to give him the money the Sixers did, but maybe it's worth it. He's just awesome. Just
Yeah.
If he was on right now, if the playoffs started, we would face the Heat in the first round. If he was still on the Heat, I would not want him to beat up Tatum in the first round.
No,
Even if it went 5 games,
exactly.
I don't want him to beat up. That's like he's just like a pit
he'll
bull.
guard whoever. Yeah.
pit bull.
And then he knocks down the corner three, and you're like, no, another.
He'll maybe
stupid
get,
PJ Tucker.
6 to 8 points. He'll have a little floater, but he'll beat the living shit out of your star player.
Yes, he's
against
awesome.
Yeah.
Against this in the Celtics game, he only had 7 points, 2 for 7, but he had 16 rebounds, and he was a team high plus 21.
Yes.
Just insane.
Yeah.
He's like, how old is he? He's got to be like 36 or something too. Just an absolute menace.
Maybe. I don't know if he's been.
He's a tank.
I mean, he went to college too. He's 37.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just an absolute
he's
tank.
it's not that he's fast, but he's got like quick feet. He can, you don't see him get beat to the baseline a lot. Like they don't get past him.
Yeah.
He's just a playoff
he'll take the
dude.
hits. Yeah. He'll take the hits.
Oh yeah, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's just a playoff dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I just
agreed.
Yeah, that was my guy. Who'd you have?
My
Mom?
guy? A surprise, because I've watched him never sit out. Miles Turner.
Miles Turner.
I've always been a fan.
Oh my
Everybody
gosh.
else, no one likes him. I like him.
Miles Turner had 40 points. 40 points. 8 3-point shots. What?
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to shoot 8 for 10 for 3 all the
but
time.
But then he had 10
he
rebounds.
shoots it better than you'd expect.
He was unbelievable that game. And I like him, but I've just never seen him play this way. I thought he was lights out. I mean, I don't know. He was very, very good. I think he kept them going when nobody else was really as hot.
Well, I got Julius Randle because like
Julius
we talked
Randle,
about earlier, he's more comfortable with shooting, but he is like that agile power forward who still plays like bully ball. Like he has that weird like side pull up, but then he like fakes it and shifts and then gives you like 4 shoulders and then just goes in. He shot 6 for 9 from free throw, but he wasn't there all day.
Yeah, I think we both had him for player of the week last time we played the Knicks. So he's that combination where like if you put a guard on him, he'll like bully ball you, but
strong.
if you put like a big guy on you, he has too many
fast.
moves to like he's like a good tweener.
Mm-hmm.
Just his eyes, he's like got that crazy look.
Yeah,
he does.
He's
got that look like I'm gonna.
He also like completely reinvigorated himself. Like last year, like the fans hated him. He was like beefing with the fans. Like everyone thought
he's been meditating. Did you hear that?
Yeah, he's like meditates now. He's like completely done somehow a 360 in 1 year. That he's like a fan favorite now, and now they're
peaceful and
playoff contention. I don't know how it happened, but he is good.
Year before last, he was excellent. Last year, I think they tried to change the team and how he played. And I don't know, he just didn't play hard the first half and then suddenly would turn it on the second half. I don't know. It was very wacky.
Year before he was excellent. Feisty playoff team for sure.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. They could overtake the Cavs for 4 seasons.
Yes, I think they will. The Cavs don't play defense.
Interesting.
Yeah. All in all, I'm not liking what the Celtics are doing right now. I just think our defense is going to be an issue. And I think we did not shoot as many threes last night, but I think threes are going to be the death of us if we're not careful. We need to figure something out, that. And when Jason Tatum is not shooting well, who's stepping up? Who else is, you gotta,
I feel like last year was like 3 and D, like you shot a lot of threes, but the defensive intensity was like number one priority. And this year it's just not. And like when they first promoted Missoula to interim, everybody said, oh, he loves defense, but that hasn't been that way all year.
No.
Like you're trying to outscore everybody, or, you beat up on shit teams like the Spurs and the Rockets. Okay. If you listen to like the radio the next day, like, oh, they beat the Pistons by 35 points. Yeah, the Pistons have people that are like as young as my newborn son. Okay, like it doesn't mean anything. Like they're not.
Durant. He's 18.
Yeah, they're up and coming. But what is that? Like,
babies.
Tell me what happens when they get. I want to hear more about why they lost to the Knicks and why they beat the shit out of the Spurs.
Yeah. It's like Kevin Durant coming back and the headline being didn't miss a beat and they played the Hornets. Well, of course they didn't miss a beat.
That's a
because the
scary
Hornets
team,
aren't
though.
Good.
That Suns team is a very scary team.
Yes. But that's the headline. Of course he picked the Hornets because
He's the best
they're
player.
not
He's
a
the
great
second
team.
best, no, third best player on the planet. He's not going to miss a beat.
Yeah.
I had to keep going down a notch.
Yeah, think about it.
Suns are going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think they're going to
Thank
go.
God we don't have to face
finals.
it. Face them to
I don't want to face them in the finals.
I
If we
know,
get to the finals,
hopefully,
I wouldn't
yeah.
want to face them. No
I
way.
don't know.
So a
still-
game that I want to watch. I don't watch a
I
lot
still
of
fear
games
them
as
less than the
Celtics,
Bucks,
but I want to watch the next Suns Nuggets game. That I'm figuring out.
That's good
and I
basketball.
want to watch.
Yeah, that'll be
that
good.
Game. That's
That
going to be a
will
good one.
definitely be a good team. I just think they
you know,
have.
I want to see Nuggets Mavericks. See the two polar opposites of basketball right there.
Yeah.
How to just
Yeah.
completely
I think the
ISO
Mavericks-
play.
The
Mavericks are gonna,
Mavericks, the best thing that can happen to them is if Kyrie opts out and goes somewhere else next year. I just he's so talented, but he's just a head case. And I love Luka. He's my favorite player in the league. He's so
He
hard
is.
to guard. I love
Yeah.
Luka.
I loved
He's
Luca until this
excellent.
year, and I just
Why?
can't get on board.
He's the
He is
hardest
just-
person in the league to guard. He's
just-
so good.
All he does is ISO now. It's like Harden via like circa 2018.
He's
It's like
he's too strong for the little guy. He's too fast for the big guy. He's
yeah, but he
herky
used to
jerky.
run, be used like a transition passer,
You
step
don't think
back.
he got a little
and, like,
fat. He got a little
exactly.
fat.
It's like, oh, now it's just like now I'm
I
just
wanted
gonna
them
back
to
you
get
No,
Yeah,
he's
down.
an
It's like
excellent
Embiid.
player. He's an excellent player, but he can never come to the Celtics ever. I can't
I
watch
would
that
take
every
him.
night. I'm like,
Oh,
ISO. I have
I
enough
love
to
him.
hate him.
I mean, watching
Yeah,
watching them watching
He's
them
so
now is
good.
the best.
He is very good.
Actually,
he's
I
no-
texted.
He's no Jokic though. Jokic is my favorite. He's my favorite
Oh, really?
player in all the NBA. Like
Jokic is
Oh.
awesome.
his
Yeah,
passing,
he is
he just
awesome.
makes everything look easy.
He's got the Bill
Everything.
Walton over the head
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah, he does
Like,
a lot well.
yeah.
The best.
Love him.
But they're not. But they won't win. Like I would bet my house on it. They won't win.
Yeah,
They just
Nuggets?
don't. They
I don't
won't. They
know.
won't.
We'll see.
Like
We'll
they have a
see.
good team, but
They're my
they'll
pick.
get the Suns will match up nightmare versus them. And
Nuggets were your pick
A big preseason
for the
Nuggets
West.
won
you had
preseason.
them the preseason, the Nuggets to go.
We have it on the pod. Yeah.
No, I
No,
believe
just
you.
to- yeah.
I
I
believe
had
you.
Nuggets
just,
Bucks.
you know,
I had
Jokic will have
Warriors.
like 40, 12, and 15, and then Michael Porter Jr. will have like 8 points. Aaron Gordon will have like 11 rebounds, 6 points.
I mean,
Like, they
Michael
have,
Porter
like-
Aaron
Jr.
Gordon's
kills
played
them.
well this year.
Yeah,
but
he is good.
He's
too.
like a fake all-star. You know, he
Yeah.
thinks he's a
Yeah.
superstar, but
He's
I
an
just,
all-star because he plays with Jokic.
yeah,
He's a
I
perfect
just,
guy. Oh, you just run to the basket. I'll just pass behind my head.
I
to you.
fear two teams like I would not want to go and play like the Knicks and then the Heat and then go play the Bucks, you know, because you get beat up and then play the Bucks. But the Bucks and the Suns just for matchups because
Agreed. Those
I-
are the top
this-
two for sure.
we would matching up versus Suns would be a nightmare because what is Tatum going to guard Kevin Durant all night and then no he's not wouldn't be able
Last
to.
year they did.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that
he
was on
did.
the Nets. He didn't have Devin
He did-
Booker, DeAndre
would-
Ayton.
Yeah.
But he was the
Ball.
best
Yeah.
the Kevin Durant defender I've ever seen. Which was
Yeah,
like
but
shocking.
they also
It's like,
would
how did-
throw double teams at him.
Yeah,
and-
of course.
Yeah.
But
But
still,
Kevin Durant
just-
was still getting what, like 30 points a game?
Yes.
yeah, but that's
yeah.
Kevin. I don't know. That's
That's what I mean.
Durant.
Like, well, I guess essentially you can only do so much, but
Andre
First-
Iguodala got a Finals MVP for holding LeBron to 30 points a game.
yeah, that is true. But yeah, them and the Bucks. I fear everybody last year who
for
was
sure.
screaming that we beat them even with Middleton is just delusional last year. If Middleton played last year, we don't beat them.
Yeah, probably not. He
Well,
always
if
kills
this
us.
Middleton, we
He's
Yeah,
coming
he's
off
not
the
the
bench
same.
right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's not
he
adding.
just doesn't. He doesn't look
quite
the same yet, though.
No, but they're
Yeah.
working him into
moving.
bigger minutes. and I
Exactly.
think
It could be
a
slow.
sneaky
they're
glue
smart.
piece is Jay Crowder.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
That's
know.
a
That
very
I
is
love.
tough.
sneaky,
I
sneaky
yeah.
piece.
I like Jay Crowder.
Yep.
You know, physical guy.
Yep, it's
I
gonna
just-
be. Yep.
I fear them. I don't really
Good
fear anything
defender.
else, but those two teams I
Agreed.
Yeah.
fear.
Agreed. 100.
It's the
those are
only team in
definitely
the
my
East
top
I
two,
fear.
for sure.
Yeah,
Bucks
the
are the only
Bucks. I
team
don't. Yeah,
Oh, there's one more, and it's
the
the
East?
Miami Heat.
yeah.
In the first
Who
round.
did they add? Who do they have?
It doesn't matter. That
No
team
one,
just
but they're just
terrifies me.
gonna beat the
Anytime we play
living
them.
crap out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime
I
we
don't
play
know.
them, I'm scared.
They got the best
Yeah.
coach in the NBA because I think Pop is like over the hill now, but I think Spoelstra is the best coach in the NBA.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I
they're
just
not
think
they're not going to beat us, but we'll go 6.
You're up.
I just think
You're up like
they have
9
to
with
stay
2 minutes to
healthy.
go, and Max Strus hits like 2 threes from half court, and then Jimmy Butler just throws
Jimmy
the ball over his
Butler is
head
a
and it goes
different
in, and you're just
person.
losing, and you're
Yeah,
like,
in
what
playoffs.
happened?
Yeah,
But I think
playoffs
they
is
have to
different.
stay healthy. I think that's been their problem this year is Jimmy Butler's not
Well, he
been healthy.
plays so many minutes. He plays like an overtime
Um,
game every game. He's just like
Who's the other
beat
one
to
that's
shit.
been out? That's why they're not
Uh,
very high right now.
Oh, Kyle Lowry, but he's like 70
Yeah.
pounds
Oh,
overweight. He can't
he's
stay on the
he's
court.
over. You know,
He's
he can't.
And then
just like
wait,
You can't even.
Yeah.
You can't even put him on the floor against the Celtics. Like just Derek White and Brogdon will just take turns just scoring.
yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, but they
We'll
just
see.
terrible.
I'm excited.
The thought of playing them is just. It's like when you play the Heat, you just like they just make you the worst version of whatever team you are.
Yeah,
How?
yeah.
Like, why
They
are we just
exploit your
bad now?
weaknesses.
Yeah, like why are
Which
we
really
just a
isn't.
bad team now? Like I don't understand. It's like a
Which at
Jedi mind
times
trick
is
they
really
have.
not hard.
But yeah, they're probably like the number 2 scariest team. As we've talked about, the Sixers
No.
don't scare me.
Nope.
The Knicks, I
No,
mean,
I
I
don't
don't
maybe
think any
now.
other team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think we're sweeping any teams, but there are teams that'll be tougher to play against.
For
Obviously.
sure. Let me see.
Who do we have coming up?
Last thing on the agenda, upcoming Nets, new look Nets tomorrow. We get then a rematch against the Knicks on Sunday, and then we're at Cleveland back to back.
That's the game, Sunday night.
We're gonna go
game.
2-1.
Circle it.
We're gonna lose
Circle
to
it.
Cleveland in
lose.
Cleveland.
You think?
It's possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll beat the Knicks and we're gonna beat the Nets. The Nets are fine. They're that team who they'll, they beat. I forget who they beat, but they came out like their first game. Spencer Dinwiddie had like 38 points. They try really hard, but they don't have enough star power to do anything.
They did get sneaky good pieces back. Like that's a solid roster.
That are young. Yeah,
exactly. But it's
they need
also
a
like
probably all.
But it's
They're
also
probably
like
so
they're in a
excited.
playoff spot right now. It's like they'll hang on to the play-in game probably. They're not gonna lose. Like they'd have to really collapse to even lose the play-in.
I love the playing game. I think it's so cool.
Fun.
But I actually hate that the Lakers are a 12th seed and they might make the playing game because I'm just like I'm rooting like against the Lakers and then for the Celtics. That's how much I hate LeBron. I am rooting so hard against the Lakers that I just want them to be out. Boom, get out, please. And then I'm rooting.
Yeah, they're one game back.
He's
now.
hurt.
I mean,
I know he's hurt.
Yeah,
Then
he's out
Anthony
a couple
Davis
weeks.
Out
is
for a
hurt,
couple
and-
weeks.
Oh
Yeah.
can't do it.
they beat OKC last night though.
I say we go 3-0.
In an
That's my
ideal
prediction.
scenario, because this is what terrifies me now is, I mean, obviously it's play-in, so you don't know who you'll get, but we're the 2 and Miami's the 7. That's just such a nightmare first round matchup. You need it's like last year against like when Brooklyn was the low seed. It's like you need to like, can we manipulate it this year so that Milwaukee gets Miami and we get Atlanta and we can just whack Atlanta?
I don't know. Atlanta can score though.
Yeah, but that's not a tough series. It's just like
No, it'll probably
maybe
go
they
5,
steal a
6,
game or
but-
2, but like because Trey goes off and then you win, and I'm not worried about them. You'd come out of that way less scathed than you would against Miami.
Yeah, because they don't have anybody like John Collins is a fake big tough guy. They don't have anybody that can really push you around.
No,
Clint
we
Capella's
would
hurt all
force
the
our
time.
will on that. Yeah,
So Knicks and
they
the
have,
Heat. I don't want to play.
Okongwu. I like
first
that
round.
guy.
Who?
Okongwu or whatever.
Okongwu
Atlanta
from
guy.
USC.
Yeah, he's good.
He played high school ball with Ball brothers.
Yeah. My college roommate knew his brother actually, who died like tragically, I think.
Oh yeah, they played it where I forget where, but
Chino Hills.
Chino Hills, yeah. And that's another person I'm very upset about is Lonzo Ball. I'm a big Lonzo Ball guy.
Yeah, I like him too, but he hasn't played in 2 years.
No, he's so hurt. But
What's his injury?
I hate to cut off, but
Yes.
baby needs to feed.
Yeah,
so
Baby needs you.
Yeah, he needs me. So
We
thanks
are
for
done.
having
Quick
me.
show. A quick
Oh,
show.
Here, I'll show you.
gotta
Yeah,
show 'em.
before he needs to. Yeah. All right. So
Podcast.
this
Introduction.
is
Baby's first podcast.
This is Kaysen.
Oh my goodness. So
Hi.
beautiful. Hello. Oh,
Hey.
God, he's so
Yep.
cute.
He's got his little moose, baby Kaysen. Can you say hi? Oh, he's like, he just turns real quick.
He's
Baby's first
so
podcast.
cute.
Thank you.
All
Yep.
right. Good
Well-
to see him. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Jake. I'm very happy you are going to be here soon.
Yes.
Where you
I'll
belong.
Be back. I'll be back
Yes.
I
in
bet your mom
Yes.
is happy.
Celtics
So
country.
absolutely, you'll have
Yes,
to
I
come
am.
over and meet the baby.
I will
Oh,
for
so
sure. We
cute.
might get some in-person podcasts going.
All right. Thanks for
But-
having
All
me. Talk
Bye,
to you later.
Joe.
This has
Bye.
been Shamrock Talk. Joe's out with baby issues, but we're still here. Find us everywhere worldwide. On Instagram at Shamrock Talk, on Twitter, Shamrock Talk Pod. Got to get back on the website. Haven't been doing that. Spotify, Apple Podcast. And we're out. Go
The
Celtics.
Celtics.